I'm with Gilbert Ghostine, CEO of Firmenich, the world's largest privately owned perfume and taste company. More than half of the world's population interact with one of Firmenich's products every single day, but it's still a family-owned company with sustainability at its core. Gilbert, why is sustainability such an important principle for Firmenich?
Sustainability has been ingrained in our history and at the same time in our DNA as an organization. When our founding fathers put together the values of the company, sustainability was one of them. It is at the heart of our inclusive capitalism business model. So this is part of our way of doing business. At the same time, it is important for the planet because you need 3.5 tons of petal rose to make 1 kilo of rose essential oil that we use in your soaps, in your perfumes, in your shampoos. So the only way is to harvest it in a very sustainable way.
I'm really interested by this inclusive capitalism concept, and you've identified 3 strands to that: people, planet, and society. Tell me in practice what you're actually doing. Let's start with people.
I'll give you a few examples. First, Firmenich received back in December 2018 a global gender equality certification. It's not only about equal pay, is at the same time equal opportunities for coaching, for mentoring, for career progression in the organization. The other example that I will give you is that over 2% of our colleagues around the world are people with different abilities. In the normal jargon, these are disabled people. And for us, these are colleagues with different abilities because they bring a different skill set to our organization. When some people lose a sense, they will develop the other senses. And that's why we have visually impaired colleagues on sensory panels all over the world. And that's a way of Firmenich embracing our colleagues in a camaraderie spirit and a different way.
And how about planet? How does Firmenich ensure its business is environmentally responsible?
We participated as a company at the COP21 in Paris back in 2015. And this is when we realized that incremental actions on climate are not good enough. They need to be exponential. And we took the opportunity to announce from Paris the boldest environmental goals for our industry. One of the goals that we set ourselves is that we will be running at 100% renewable electricity before the end of 2020. And guess what? Before the end of February, we will be able to announce that we are running at 100% renewable electricity globally. Second, we managed to decouple our output growth from our carbon emissions. Since 2015, we have grown our output by 18% while reducing our carbon emissions by 30%. Back in 2018, Firmenich was one of only 2 companies in the world out of the 7,000 that are assessed by CDP to receive a AAA, A for climate, A for water, and A for forestry. And we are very proud that for the 2nd year in a row, in 2019, we are receiving AAA from CDP.
And your 3rd strand is sustainable growth for society. What innovations are you bringing to market here?
As a company, we leverage our knowledge in science to help address some of the biggest societal challenges that exist in the world today. We were approached by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation back in 2014 to help address a serious sanitation issue in emerging markets. 2.5 billion people on this planet have only access to public toilets. And one of the challenges in these public toilets that most of the time they are dirty and they smell bad. Who understands the science of smell better than anyone else in the world is Firmenich, because we have been investing in understanding the receptors in the nose and the science of smell since the 1930s. We managed to come with breakthrough technologies that could neutralize these malodors, and they are available today in markets like Bangladesh, India, and South Africa. The other example has to do with well-being. One of the challenges that our generations face today is this combination of obesity and diabetes. Firmenich came with a new technology called TastePrint that could remove 100% of the sugar from your products that you eat while maintaining the same taste and the same mouthfeel. And last calendar year, in 2019, we removed 1 trillion calories from the food that people consume.
Firmenich is celebrating its 125th anniversary this year. What's your vision for the next 125 years of the business?
Well, I can't have a vision for the next 125 years, but I will say, knowing well our shareholders and the way they think, they will always pride themselves of being a role model company in social, environmental, and ethics.
Gilbert, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Learn more at firmenich.com, and please subscribe for the latest international business insights from worldfinance.com.